Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode. This is just another podcast with me. And as you can tell from the hat that I'm wearing, this is going to be a holiday Christmas oriented vlog or podcast episode, rather. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Christmas in 2020, or basically just the holiday season. And man, 2020 is just really weird. I didn't even really feel that it was the Christmas season, the holiday season, because you're just in your room 24/7. We've been in quarantine for about 9 months here in the Philippines, which is absolutely insane. So it's like when Christmas happened, I was just like, oh, it's the 24th. It's Christmas Eve. Apparently, I wasn't really able to anticipate it because you don't go out, you don't see the Christmas decorations in the street or in the mall, and you don't hear the Christmas songs in the department stores playing as loud as ever. So yeah, it just felt like any other day here in the Philippines. But yeah, we still celebrated it, of course, but it did feel just like any other day, with just a little bit more food on the table and have a little bit more wine because it is a celebration. And Christmas was a little lonely for me this year just because I wasn't able to spend it with my mom or my sister or my grandparents. So yeah, although I still was able to spend it with my family here in the Philippines, with my aunt and my cousin, so that was still a pretty good time. We had our Noche Buena dinner, we exchanged gifts, we talked, and all that good stuff. But yeah, and it was funny, sure, because I uploaded a photo on Instagram, and I usually post a picture with my mom or my sister or both of them. But this year it was just me and my bottle of wine. So follow me if you haven't. And speaking of wine, look at this adorable wine bottle with matching hats. Yeah, we're matchy. Isn't that adorable? So yeah, this is Sauvignon Blanc from Yellowtail, my absolute favorite. So I've said this before. Feel free to have a drink with me because, we're just chilling here. We're just talking. So yeah, Christmas 2020. 2020 in general is just really a really weird time. So yeah, happy holidays, everybody. That's so good. So yeah, Christmas is usually the time where it's time to slow down, because like more often than not, we're so engrossed in our own schedules and our own routines, usually preoccupied by either school or work. So we're usually out 90% of the week. Like, speaking from experience, I was out from like Monday to Saturday, and I'd only come home to the South on Sundays to see my family and spend time with them. Maybe go to church and have a meal outside. Sometimes I wouldn't even be able to go home. So Christmas was always a beautiful way to just stay at home, take a breather from your regular routine, and just relax with your family. Like bake, prepare your Noche Buena, and then have it together. But yeah, 2020. What more is there to say? 2020, know what I'm saying? But I was looking back to my time in Singapore last year because I spent Christmas there with my sister, and it was just such a good time. And it was pretty much that, I had a pretty hectic year in 2019. I was flying in and out from the States, and school was hectic as ever, clinic, stuff like that. So my trip to Singapore was just an amazing way to relax, meet new people, spend time with my sister, and just really take a breather. And that was actually a really big turning point in my life, because I've always been cynical about the future. I don't like planning anymore just because of how uncertain my future is. It's just wow. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But basically that trip really helped me envision my future. Maybe settle down in Singapore one day. Maybe that's something I can work towards, work there as a dentist, and it was just amazing for me because I was actually able to envision that, and it was such a breath of fresh air, something I wasn't really able to do for a really long time. So that that was just a great trip for me. But one thing that I really got from that is really appreciating time with family, because I migrated to the States. Me and my mom did in 2018, and my sister moved to Singapore in 2018 as well. So we pretty much split up, and we knew that we weren't going to be able to spend Christmas together anymore and stuff like that. So that was kind of sad. But being apart makes you really realize how much you love that time together and how much you should appreciate it, because being apart during these times, especially in this pandemic, is rough. You worry about them, you think about them all the time, and not being able to see them is just so much harder. So I just want to say that make sure that you don't take being with your family, living in the same house, for granted, because it is truly a privilege, and you don't know how much you'll miss it once you can't do it. You can't spend time with them whenever you want to, because I honestly feel like I kind of took that for granted, even considering we're a very, very close family. Yeah, so just wanted to say that. But anyway, going on to my point was, again, in that trip, I actually shot a number of videos there, and I had a really good time. Obviously, I've been saying over and over. But on the last day, this was a vlog that I never edited, never released, but it was me talking about New Year's resolutions. And this is not something I do generally, because I never push through with them. I used to be one of those people like, this year I'm gonna be super fit, and then I stopped working out after the third week of January. But in this video, I talked about not necessarily making a New Year's resolution, but more of trying to change the way I live in 2020 by being more grateful, intentional, and content with everything going on in my life. And my God, I did not realize that I had to practice these 3 things so much in 2020. I was just trying to improve myself for 2020. But, going into this pandemic, going into quarantine for 9 months, I really, really had to practice. I really had to practice these 3 things. I had to be grateful for everything that I had, regardless of, where I was in life, because I've already talked about this in a previous video. But basically, I'm a dentistry student, but everything is pretty much put on hold because a lot of our academic activities are involved in the clinic. And since there is a pandemic, of course, we're not going to be able to treat patients right now. So we're pretty much put on pause. And yeah, but we have, this thing called a virtual clinic. It's really weird. We do procedures on dummy cats, and we're trying our best to move forward. But that's a completely different topic. But, again, 2020 is such a weird time. Never in my head did I imagine that I was going to be doing procedures through a camera, through my webcam. What a weird time. But yeah, I had to be grateful regardless of being really upset of where I am in life. Be grateful that I have a roof over my head no matter what, and have 3 meals a day. And I'm probably lying, because I probably have more than 3 meals a day. Don't we all? Okay. Yeah, because honestly, it's so easy to get caught up in all our negative feelings and just be like, oh, what's the point? Which is something I do pretty much every day. But you really have to practice to be grateful, because there's still so many things to be grateful for in life, I'm pretty sure. And I have to remind myself this every day, that I have to be grateful for everything in my life, no matter how mundane it can be, and being intentional with everything that I do, especially in this quarantine. I've been in this room within the 4 walls of my room for the past 9 months, and it's so easy to just wallow in my sadness and just lie down and do nothing all day. But I try to be as intentional with my time as much as possible, while focusing on school, online classes, making YouTube videos, picking up new skill sets. I've also talked about this a lot in the past, learning piano, learning Japanese. Just try to be as intentional with your time as much as possible. But I'm not saying that if you didn't accomplish anything that big in 2020, that's okay too. What matters is you're fine, you have good health, you have good mental health, spiritual health. That's what matters in the end, not what you were able to do in this quarantine. Just as long as you are okay as a person, because toxic positivity is actually a real thing. It's really something that happens. But I don't want to be that kind of toxic positivity person. I just want everybody to do well, to be okay. But yeah, and being content with everything that's going on. Again, being in the four walls of your room, it's so hard to just get over your boredom, because it's just like it's the same thing every day. But you have to be content that you're safe, that you're healthy, that your family members are safe too. You gotta be content enough not to go out and just do whatever you want, right? You have to stay within your house to be safe. So yeah, I just really had no idea how much I had to practice these 3 things. Of course, I want to end this on a positive note. I really want everybody to be able to end 2020 on a good note, regardless of all the horrible things that have happened this year. It's so easy, again, to get caught up in all the negativity. But yeah, we have to be mindful to stay positive, so we can enter 2021 in a positive light as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. I don't want to take too much of your time this holiday season. So yeah, happy holidays, everybody. Cheers.